Sometimes the Rahi I designed for BIONICLE Project Toa are merely more than a background element to bring the world to life. Sometimes the inspiration for these comes from really tiny details, like this one little picture from the BIONICLE comics which featured a starfish. I always loved that, and it's little things like that that often make the world of BIONICLE feel so real and relatable. So, here's a few of ours. Starfish can be found all over the coastlines and rivers of Matanui. Sometimes when stimulated, these creatures give off a fairly fragrant scent, and the Matoran often use them like natural air fresheners. Ga and Lay Matoran will sometimes even wear starfish like hats for comedic purposes. The roughness of a starfish means they can often be used like sandpaper, even when living, to smooth down rough objects, the particles of which providing a free meal for these fairly immobile Rahi. Husi are tall, flightless birds that roam the island's drier regions. They often hunt small underground Rahi by sensing for vibrations with their feet, and then diving their head through the ground and snapping up that tasty morsel with their beaks. Husi are incredibly fast runners and can leap great distances, using their wings to help them glide a little further than they otherwise would have. This makes them a valuable possession to Matoran who buy and sell these birds in their markets. They can be used as pack animals, pest control, but most often are utilized by the Matoran as mounts for couriers or racing Rahi. Spiny Tao are very dangerous creatures, though very calm and peaceful by nature due to their natural defense mechanism that can wound or temporarily paralyze any creature. They got their nickname Makuta fish after an unfortunate incident when a Matoran turned to fishing in their battle against starvation and fell prey to the many stingers of the Spiny Tao. He concluded that such a dangerous creature must have been created out of pure malice, thus dubbing the Rahi after Makuta himself. Jerick's crickets are thought to be soulless little monsters and have an incredibly painful bite. But unless one falls prey to a swarm of them, they are non-lethal Rahi, but still a disgust to all Matoran unanimously. A burrowing creature, Jerick's crickets are a plague upon Onu Matoran specifically. They are highly attracted to light in the dark tunnels, and a particularly favored delicacy among the Fiko Nui, the giant spiders of Matanui. Stingrays patrol the coastal waterways of Matanui, often swimming inland through the Huramafa outlet. Their huge size makes them an amazing sight to behold to most Ga Matoran when one of these gentle Rahi graces their Gakoro Bay. Some Ga Matoran will even throw a lasso around them, allowing the stingrays to pull their little canoes wherever the Rahi will take them, seeing how far the creature will take them before they are forced to cut their line. Even Gali is known to gently hitch a ride on these Rahi if ever she is wearied of constant hours of swimming. Or rather, probably, she does this merely out of a sense of fun. Gali loves all wildlife, but especially those who share her love of the sea. Usul krenica are based on the design of antlions, which can be found underground or even in the fiery wastes of Tawahi. These creatures burrow into the earth and lie in wait for any passers-by to be its next meal, sometimes forming a sand pit in which to trap its prey. The Usul krenica got their name from their most commonly targeted prey on Matanui, usul crabs. Their huge pincers are strong enough to crack the shell of almost any Rahi on the island. Cryfish swarm the waterways of Matanui, keeping any Matoran who fish well fed if any of their other food supplies run low. Although incredibly common, the Matoran love the shimmery reflections that the light creates when it hits these beautifully colored fish, especially when they're in schools, appearing almost like an underwater aurora light display when the swarm of fish dance in the sunlight near the surface. These are some of the smallest fish around the island, barely measuring the length of a Matoran's finger. Now, I know I've already revealed the rookie fish, but I wasn't exactly satisfied with their appearance in our first Rahi Indigenous mock video, as I hadn't even done a nice photo shoot with them. Based on a black piranha, rookie are easily my favorite designed Rahi fish thus far, except maybe for the Takia shark. I'll save that for another time. The design of this fish was specifically born from Umarak's traps in the last wave of Bionicle G2. I was immediately determined to build a piranha fish based on that mouthpiece, and I've been very pleased with this design ever since. Foul frogs are brightly colored Rahi native almost exclusively to the Foul Swamp deep in the jungle of Lewahi. Often when wading through the swamp, one could become covered in foul frogs, which would overpopulate the swamp if it wasn't for all the carnivorous Rahi that constantly consume them and keep their massive population in check. Matoran love when even one frog comes as far as their high treetop village, and often if a foul frog were to jump on a Matoran's head or mask, it is considered to be a sign of good fortune, especially for bachelors, often associated with the marriage covenant, marking said individual, much like saying, "You're next, buddy." And although all Matoran love this custom, most are fully aware that generally speaking it's just based on a kind-hearted superstition, and rarely does a Matoran marked by a foul frog become the next bride or groom. But it is a much-loved, time-honored tradition. Jellyfish grow to massive sizes on Matanui and are usually located deep in the ocean, but a small pod of jellyfish has taken up residence in the Bay of Gakoro, quite unexpectedly. They are incredibly slow and docile in nature, and their glow is a constant source of light in Gakoro, even at night, lighting the bay with a beautifully eerie glow as Gamatoran paddled their boats out into the newly dubbed Bay of Lights, in honor of this dazzling spectacle that the jellyfish create with their very presence. Although their tendrils can be quite dangerous, possibly even fatal, no Gamatoran would even imagine the thought of attempting to drive these Rahi out of their home, even for safety. Tucero birds are exotic Rahi, but very commonplace to the more tropic regions of the island. Their mating calls serve as a constant ambience for half of the island. Their huge beaks can crack open coconuts and other large fruits, and the Matoran often harvest much of their food supply under the trees that Tucero birds nest in. Seldom do these birds crack open these nuts or fruits without a small portion of it falling to the forest floor for the Matoran to glean from. It is rumored that some of these birds possess the ability to speak actual Matoran words, but if they actually possess the intellect rivaled by the Matoran, none have been witnessed to. But every now and then, certain intelligible words and phrases may echo through the jungle treetops. Oftentimes well-known and used phrases among the Matoran, but never an original thought. So that just about wraps up this showcase of Bionicle Rahi mocks. This year has been filled with lots of unexpected turns, a few setbacks. That's life, it's to be expected. Still striving very hard toward our goal. But if there is one thing I would like to address, looking back through the year, there have been some major blessings God has sent our way, and this shipment of Bionicle parts from Australia was one of them.
Wow.
Received these packages back in January. It's cool to have fans from all over the world, but my most generous fans seem to come from Australia, from the land down under.
They even entirely in one piece.
Two huge boxes of this guy's entire collection. So I've been corresponding some with this guy through our Little Brotherhood Studios Facebook, and we've messaged back and forth over the last few years. He helps me with some of the mocks I'm designing, gives me lots of good references. I guess he just finally decided he wanted to be a little more involved with Project Toa. So I just want to say thank you so much, Liam, for sending all these Bionicle figures and parts. We need them. We're going to go far with them. 'Twas a huge blessing.
The absolute, bar none, worst Skull Warrior creature of the entire Wave 2, Generation 2, but I always kind of wanted him. And he's really expensive nowadays, so it's like, I might keep him built for a little while. So much fun. There's just so many good parts and sets that I can tell that are here in these boxes, but of the complete ones, ones I was most excited about was this Cardus dragon. It's like I've never actually owned a Cardus dragon before, so it was kind of a new experience.
But it did leave me with a lot of sorting to be done. I have never done this much sorting in my life of Bionicle parts. So this was not the video I was planning to close out 2025 with, but I'm just gonna have to save that video for later. But for now, since this is our last video, I just wanted to say thank you, Jesus, for all the unexpected surprises this year had in store for us, both the good and the bad. It has been a pretty tough year. You keep reminding me to keep counting my blessings, and thank you so much for my generous fans, even those who are nothing more than an audience for us. Lord, I thank you for their prayers and the way they lift us up. Thank you for their encouragement. I'm praying that you would draw close to them and that you would give them peace and comfort and joy. My sole focus is to somehow please you with our work. The fact that we honor you with what we have, because we know you've given us so many gifts. We just want to find ways to give back to you. And I want to thank you so much for helping us finish iBionicle carrying the torch. That alone is a little dream come true, hopefully for so many people. Just to see Alex's brilliant little characters back again. It was just so surreal actually realizing that those iBionicle videos I was a fan of for so many years, that I would actually get to work on something like that with Alex. To literally talk to some of the characters was just completely mind-blowing to me, and it meant so much to me, and I know it meant a lot to Alex too. Every bit of that movie was handmade with love, and so thank you for helping us get that 5-year project done. Just thank you for all that you've blessed us with. Thank you for our studio, and thank you for America. Thank you for all the good things you're doing here. Thank you that you are breaking Satan's hold on this country. Even if it's just a little bit at a time, I see your hand working, and I am very grateful for that. But one thing I want to bring up, thank you for our dog Sydney. Thank you for taking her home to be with you, sparing her all the pain she was in as she was fighting cancer. Thank you for the 15 years we got to have being with her. Just thank you for blessing us for such a sweet and obedient dog. I know there's a lot of differing opinions about whether dogs go to heaven or not, but all I know is that you listen to the prayers of your people. You know how to give good gifts to your children. We can ask you for anything because you're our Father, and you always listen to us. And I know I've asked you for all our dogs, that we'll see them again in heaven, and I know that you always listen, and I know you love these dogs too. So I'm just taking you at your word for that. Whether or not anyone agrees or not, I don't care. I know I'm going to see Sydney again. We love you. We thank you for this year. We thank you that we've got another year coming. Potentially even better year. And we love you so much. Thank you for bringing us this far. Keep us on the right track. Keep us close to you. Help us to please you with all that we do. I love you so much, Jesus. In your name I pray. Amen. Farewell, everyone. You'll see more of our videos next year. Until then, have a very Merry Christmas. God bless you all. Thank you guys so much for showing up. See you next year. Bye-bye.